12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Another hurricane season is upon us. Make this year different. Equip yourself with a backup power generator from JH Launchers Electric. We can source and supply any size, any type to your specifications. But the best part is we stock generators. No more long waiting and delays for your home unit. We proudly stock from 2,000 watts all the way to 26,000 watts gas and diesel generators. Automatic and manual transfer switches are also in stock. Visit JH Launchers Electrics today.
What is the vision for the Vendors Arcade? To provide a world-class shopping environment where local goods and services can be provided and experienced by locals and visitors. Why is this redevelopment necessary? The renovations and expansions will revitalize the infrastructure and enhance the shopping experience for vendors, locals, and visitors. Who will be responsible for the Vendors Arcade? The arcade will continue to be operated and managed by the Castries Constituency Council, who will have full responsibility for the rental and maintenance of the space. How will construction of the Vendors Arcade be managed? A phased approach will be employed to minimize disruption to daily operations. After the completion of each phase, vendors will be relocated from the former arcade, and this will continue until completion of the new facility. St. Lucia Cruise Port, investing in people.
Live streaming has become one of the best ways to connect the funeral of a loved one with friends and family, both local and international. NBC Television will live stream your funerals on television and Facebook at a reasonable rate. With our state-of-the-art equipment, you can be assured that the quality of your funeral will be to your satisfaction. Call our office now and book your obituary and streaming with us. 758-453-7458.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. Real FM. The man.
Friday afternoon to you, everyone, at the end of another week of The Real Issues with me, Shelton Daniel, your host and producer, alongside technical operator Alton Jaquan Joseph. Our program, as you know, airs weekdays from 12:30 until 2 p.m. on the radio station Real FM, serving you on 91.3 for the North and 91.5 for the South. Simulcasting on NBC Television, Channel 120 on the Flow Cable TV service. We are also on Facebook Live and on YouTube live streaming. I hope you're having a good day so far. Hope you've been having a good week so far and are looking forward to a wonderful, restful, refreshing, productive weekend. Remember, in everything, pay attention to safety, yours and that of others. Before I go any further, in acknowledgement of the sanctity of life, I want to extend my condolences to the family of who I understand is a suspected suicide case of a young woman. And, we are really sorry to hear that and wish, that all manner of comfort and consolation can be obtained by the survivors. I'm told that the individual belongs to a respectable profession. We don't know what's really behind it, but at this stage, this isn't what is important. So let's just hope that, they can find it, the strength, and to move forward. It's a very difficult situation for any family, any household to be in. This sort of thing causes you to ask yourself all kinds of questions, and you wonder if there's something more you could have done, and etc. I'm speaking from experience of a young man, associated with me, both in terms of personal friendship, and he was a relative in-law, and he began to show signs of mental illness, and I did everything that I could, within my knowledge and experience and kindness, including waking up in the middle of the night and going to the little single room that he lived, so that I could spend some time talking to him, encouraging him, praying with him. And he seemed to be getting better, and everybody thought he was, until sudden deterioration in his mental state, in his condition. And he dove for a bottle of Gramoxone at the time, heyday of the banana industry, and drank so much of it that the individual who owned it could not believe that he could bear, that he could have the tolerance, because it's supposed to be a very bad tasting thing. And he passed away. That was many, many years ago at the very young age of 22. And I remember it happened at a time when I couldn't really be as regular because of work commitments and so on. And the kind of things which tug at your heart and your mind all the time. Would he have had a better outcome if I had been there on that particular occasion? Did I do enough? Whatever. He was getting care at the time. He was seeing a psychiatrist and so on. And I remember he sometimes wanted to drop off his medication because he would say that the pills were making him so tired and feeling so heavy and so weak that he wanted to sleep all the time. And I told him, it's not something that will go on forever. It's going to, so, to see to it that he took his medication, that I would make sure that I was there with him at the time. And sometimes he said it was making him nauseated. And I remember taking him, accompanying him to see the doctor. And the doctor asked, how are you doing? Are you sleeping? And he said, no. And the doctor said, no, you are sleeping. I can just look at your eyes and whatever. Maybe you don't realize you're sleeping because you doze off without realizing it. And, I remember seeing him smile, etc. at the time, and I thought, hey, he's coming around, but it was not to be. So anytime I hear about people taking their own lives, many of us, we make some self-righteous and sensitive statements. It's our right to do it, but, please understand that the person who takes their own life is not an individual who's thinking like you are. They are in a different place. They're thinking differently than you are. So they don't reason the way that you reason about whether they could not have done this, whether they could not have prayed, whether they could not have reached out and do this kind of thing. Their mind is in a different zone, so they don't see life as you see it. They don't love life. They tend to believe they have no use, and whatever inner torments that they're feeling, whether we want to call it depression, whether we want to call it anxiety, panic attacks, whatever it is, they are in a zone where they see taking themselves out is the only option and avenue left open to them. What we need to do, those of us who care, is to be able to spot those things. And don't all of us think that we can make counselors of ourselves. That takes specialized training as much as psychiatry and psychology and those things. They take years of specialized training. Refer the person to help. Now I know there are religious people who believe that everything it's a case of demon possession and demons, and so they will not try to get the person to professional help, to a doctor. They will be doing all kinds of things, binding demons, and it's demons. And I'm not saying demons are not implicated, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that there is nothing which says that while a person is undergoing scientific, medical care and intervention and professional evaluation, there's nothing that prevents you from praying from them at the same time. There's nothing that prevents you from coming together, when they're discharged, or even at their bedside, if you don't create too much of a ruckus in the hospital, if that's where they are, or at home, from praying for them. But spot the signs that somebody's troubled, somebody's disturbed, and try to do something to help the person, which usually involves getting them professional help. And you can also get them pastoral help. There's a feeling that the two conflict with each other and that they are mutually exclusive and so on. That's not true. That's not necessarily true. People who they have a relative or a friend or a church member who's diagnosed with cancer, and they believe that they have to take the person out of the church. Always them doctors don't know what they're doing. Them doctors don't know about that. Them doctors more killing the person. And they go and either they stop or they encourage the person to stop medication, to stop treatment, to stop chemo, to stop radiation, to stop whatever the medical intervention that has been determined for them, that all they need is prayer, and all they need is to get some kind of anointing, something that they do with this fat or this oil or whatever, and to rub on the person and to pray and so on. I'm not dissing those things. I believe in prayer and so on. But it is a very big decision to make, to take somebody out of the care, the professional care of something so serious as cancer. And then they do that, and at some point it seems to work. Maybe the person's mood gets lifted, and there's what they call psychosomatic, and you're up, and then next thing, a round of swelling comes that doesn't go, and nobody saw it coming. And usually the excuses are that the person didn't have enough faith, or the person didn't have enough, they didn't believe, or they were doing something, whatever. Maybe the same things that Job's friends told him, that you must be doing some secret sin that, nobody knows about. That's why you're going through what it is. So people, I'm just saying, let's look out for each other. And when we do look out for each other, let's make right decisions and choices. Do not go outside and beyond ourselves to believe that we have talents and skills and expertise and proficiencies that we do not have because of pride, because of ego, because of whatever it is, misguidedness and so on. Let us do right by people in trying to help them. Now, this doesn't pertain to anything that I know. Somebody just told me that a young woman who may be in the 30s, who is or who was working in one of the best known and respected professions in St. Lucia, took her own life. And I felt really sorry to hear that. Okay? Good afternoon to my cousin Kent James of Loba, Monrepo. Don't know if you still live there, Apache. That's his nickname, Apache, who's just saying hello to me. We haven't met each other in person for a while, cuz I hope all is well. And, one of these days we have to link up and actually talk and maybe meet up and so on. I wouldn't say what delicacy that I would like us to share, because at the time we used to do it, they were not strict on the enforcement of certain wildlife laws and whatever it is. So I'm not going to mention that one. We're not doing that one. We'll find another one, maybe a good rabbit or something somewhere for us to, as I know you can prepare it very well. The other stuff, the wilder thing and so on. We'll leave that one alone. All right. Someone has sent a message say, I understood she was being bullied on the job. If that's true, the culprits have blood on their hands. Bullying in the workplace should never be tolerated. Now, some people are more sensitive, some people are more fragile, some people are more delicate than others. And so people raising their voice at them and shouting at them and making them feel like they're dirt, like they're crap, like they're like they don't know anything, like they're incompetent, and really, hitting at them with this kind of thing. It can have a worse effect on them than somebody else who's made of sterner stuff, who's tougher. But I have experienced attempts to bully me at a workplace by people who probably thought, because as one manager described me, being a gentle soul and so on. But I think in the end they realized that my appearance belied who I was, what I was really capable of, how I could stand up for myself, and best of all, that I could write, So I probably would not do, I believe in verbal interactions that are hostile. They have a greater potential for escalation. So I would let them do their do, talk their talk, and so on. But there's certain letters that I would write, either to them or to someone who was in the directorate of the company or whatever. And I know the result of it at the end was that they would get what was coming to them. And I was in Antigua. I think there were a couple of people who thought because I was in their country that they could push me around. And for what reason? Later on you find out that it's some petty nonsense. I once did an outside broadcast, or a series of outside broadcasts, that was so highly acclaimed. And one of the people who called me to congratulate me, that, he had never heard me before. They had told him before I came to work that, how good I was at doing this sort of thing and speaking extemporaneously without any script, and my fluency and this and that. And my goodness, he heard it for himself. Not realizing that this guy was actually jealous, because he's not a well-spoken person. For him to tell you one sentence, he has to have 1,000 M and am in it. And it's not only me. There was another person working in that organization who was very fluent, very good, and he and the person never got along until I began to realize that this guy has an issue with people who can express themselves. You get people like that. And immediately after, the guy went on one kind of vendetta against me to try to find fault, to try to harm and destroy me in every way that he could. He didn't succeed in the end, because, wicked people, there is a stupidity about them that they don't realize. And the stupidity plays a trick on them. It hides itself, and then it comes and it descends upon them in very critical moments that they don't see coming, and they're unable to plan for it, and they're unable to defend themselves against their own stupidity. So there were sort of critical mistakes that this person made. And when you see you doing a job that because you've been at it for a very long time, and so you acquire some smarts, you acquire some knowledge and understanding of the nuances, not the straight line of what you read, but you're somebody, no matter how long you are in it, you always are trying to refresh yourself, to read a book, to get into some kind of refreshers and so on. And so this individual ended up messing up himself and messing up a few others, because there are some little things in the fine art and the nuances of broadcasting and journalism that he just did not understand, and the others that he had brought in with him, and so on. So they try to do those things. Why am I saying this to you? I think you would have heard me say on this program at some point that sometimes when people want to attack you, in order for them to disguise what they're doing, they come and they praise you. They talk well of you. It is something that is intended to provide a scenario of plausible denial, that I can't have anything against Shelton. You all heard me saying, how intelligent he is. You all heard me saying how articulate he is. Well, no, that's exactly why they did it. They did it as a throwing people off the scent of their evil, so that, it's a sham. It's fake. to come and to praise you and to talk nicely of you, but they have in their mind everything that they're going to do. Here's what I want to encourage everybody to do. Whatever it is that you are doing, and we often think that we can only distinguish ourselves in things that have prominence, that everybody can see us and hear us and notice us, that put us on a pedestal of that. That's not true. You can be a yard sweeper, but you can become the best yard sweeper there is. And by the best, you say, what's there about being the best in just pushing a broom? You know, I have one of my sons, and I always tell him that, who got a holiday job with some company, wholesale company. I even forget what it was. I wouldn't have mentioned their name anyway. He got a vacation job, or part-time or whatever, with some company that was doing wholesale or supplying supermarkets and so on. And in that job, he got, I don't know if they gave him a job as a packer, or if it was just part of what he was doing, that he was packing things, how to put the cans together and the boxes and the cartons and everything. Just that. And I never realized how seriously my son was taking that. Until much later. I was in Antigua and I invited him to come over and spend some time with me in Antigua. And he came and we went to a certain supermarket. And shopping I would never do for myself, but he's a son, young man, healthy, vibrant, had a healthy appetite, and I know he liked good things like his ice cream. And so I went and I did some heavy shopping to make sure that at least when I was gone for the day to work and he was in the house or whatever, brought him along to work with me a few times, became an instant hit at my workplace and to the church that I was attending and so on. And I couldn't believe for a short time like that they were talking about him when he was gone. The pastor, the people would ask me about him and how he's doing and so on. And I would select the things off the shelf and I just put them into the trolley. And oh my goodness, it was chaotic, no kind of order, arrangement, no kind of method or whatever in it, this and that and the other. And I went around another aisle to go and do something because the trolley had become heavy and cumbersome. And to push it here and push it there, I figured better you go and get the things and bring it over there. I can't remember if it's where the produce or whatever I went. When I came back, my goodness, I have never seen a trolley packed so well, so neatly, so nicely. It's almost like I didn't want to check out because the trolley just looking so proper, so lovely, everything stacked. I don't know how he did it and how he did it in such a short time. And I remember telling my son, I'm sure when you got this holiday job, you probably didn't think much of it. But look at that, The skills that you learn just being a packer, I can just see there. The neatness, and I never know. Of course, that I could pack any trolley close to being like that. And I said, look at that, Look at what you've come away with. Sometimes you be a yard sweeper. And just by being that yard sweeper, it's not a matter of pushing the broom. It's a matter of where to tackle first, where to push this, where to do that, because if you sweep there first, later on you'll have to push the garbage on the place where the grass is that you don't want it and so on, the system, the sequence, and so many other things you might know. And then you go and you get a job which involves sweeping a yard, and your managers will notice that nobody apart from you has ever done it so well, that they don't have to worry about a blower and so on, because the way you put up the neat little piles and so on, and you stack them in a manner so that you put them behind the column so the wind can't blow it, and all little pieces of wisdom and skill that you have acquired in such a mundane, in such a menial task and so on, you have developed skill and expertise. And I just want to encourage you, whatever it is that you're doing in life, no matter how menial, no matter how mundane, no matter how low down, that you can aspire for excellence, that you can become such a pro in it, that people recognize it, whether employers or whoever else and so on, they recognize. And when people try to bully you, one of the things that they cannot get past is that you are an absolute virtuoso, you are an absolute expert, you are skilled, you are a professional in even what you do. Whether it is, I don't want to name anything, being a teacher, student teacher, later to become confirmed teacher and so on, to get that kind of mastery around you so that bullies can know that they're trying to bully you is only a reflection of their own insecurity, their own weakness, and they can't get past it. I'm very sensitive about people raising their voice at me because it was done to me a lot by my own father, who later explained to me how he had become like that, what had made him like that, his time as a policeman, the drill sergeant, and this kind of thing, that he thought that was the way. And guess what? Without realizing it, I was doing it to my own children. And it had to be pointed out to me, and I did my best to stop. I don't know if I ever succeeded. But sometimes when we are bullied, either we turn on ourselves, we turn against others, we do it inadvertently to others, we don't realize that we are doing it because it was done to us. Today's abuser is probably an abuser because yesterday he was abused. And the person that he's abusing could become tomorrow's abuser as well. We have to be conscious. We have to be concerned. We have to be mindful. We have to have empathy towards others and consciousness of our own selves if we are to defeat a lot of those things. Now, spent a lot more time on that than I intended to, but don't I always do that? And that one I'm always guilty of, mea culpa. I see something is swirling around. It's taking hold in regional media about a cricketer who exploded on the scene about 2 years ago almost and made such an impact in international cricket, especially test cricket. A long time we had not won a test against Australia. And this guy came and on the back of his astounding bowling performance, soundly defeated Australia, albeit in one test out of so many and so on. But in the previous test, he had made an impact, even though in the end we either won or it was drawn or whatever. And he's come back again and is having an impact on the current test going on in Barbados against the same Australia. There's been a lot of chat, people trying to see, again, the same thing. I saw somebody put in something, and it can be considered a form of bullying, trying to see if they can psychologically destabilize him, a former veteran of the Australian test team, Ian Healy, who I always had my little issues with him about claiming catches that it was clear, he didn't catch, but running towards the umpire and saying, Healy, how's that, and so on. And Healy knows to me he didn't take the catch cleanly or whatever. That was my view of him, but in a way, trying to see if he can bully Shamar Joseph, psychologically destabilize him and telling him things about he's no Curtly Ambrose. How can he be a Curtly Ambrose when he's around for 2 years or less? Curtly Ambrose was in the West Indies team from 19, at least 12 years, if not more than that, and so on. Towering person. Shamar Joseph is on the way to greatness. But I don't know. People can have things in their life that is not connected to the area in which they have made fame, in if they have developed a name, in if they have achieved greatness and so on. But there seems to be something going around Shamar Joseph about rape and how he was involved in rape and so on. And I saw an interview, or part of it, where Sportsmax, which I thought they knew better, are interviewing the CEO or is it the president of Cricket West Indies, Dr. Kishore Shallow, and asking him whether they'll be conducting an investigation into the allegations. And I'm saying, my goodness me. If Shamar Joseph is accused of sexual offenses in his native Guyana, who should be investigating that? West Indies cricket should be investigating allegations? Or should it be the authorities in Guyana? The police in Guyana, whatever offices or agencies are inquiring, including in Shamar's community, where some of it is alleged to have occurred. Isn't that where a file should be there, the police file and the DPP file, and they make a determination based upon what they have, based upon interviews, that this thing can go forward? And I thought there was almost a universality right now about the law pertaining to sexual offenses. Now, I can't tell you it's like that in Guyana. I didn't have time to really look into it. That when someone is accused of a sexual offense, and accused in law means more than just allegations of people running their mouth here, there, and saying things. When you are formally charged, you are taken to court, you are the accused person. When you are found guilty, you are the convicted person. All right? When you are sentenced, etc., etc., it's a different stage. When you are being investigated or questioned or maybe being held, whatever, you are a suspect. There are different stages. So you can't say he's accused according to law, the man has not yet been charged with anything. So how is he accused? The other thing which I know, at least in St. Lucia and other islands I've been to in the Caribbean, is that sexual offenses, you must not identify the person who is accused unless and until they are convicted. In other words, the person, everybody may know, but I should not come and mention their name on this program. I should not be, mentioning their name in the news, etc., until they are found guilty. Then you can identify the person as having been convicted of rape or whatever. If it has not reached that stage, how you want Cricket West Indies to be investigating the man on the basis of allegations that are being made left, right, and center by people, which curious coincidence is happening just when Shema Joseph is again making him. I hadn't heard it before, the first time is now. I'm hearing a major thing about Shema Joseph now that he's made a major impact on cricket between West Indies and Australia, to be specific. Now, I'm not saying they're connected. I'm not saying somebody's deliberately trying to burst his bubble. I'm not saying somebody's deliberately trying to punch the wind out of his sails. I'm not saying somebody's trying to do a deliberate hatchet job on him, or anybody paid them to do it, or they're getting inducements. But the timing and the coincidence, they really, really, really have me wondering. It's 1 o'clock. Someone is calling. I don't think we'll take that call. Let's go for the break, and then when we come back, we'll in short order open the lines.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Another hurricane season is upon us. Make this year different. Equip yourself with a backup power generator from JH Launchers Electric. We can source and supply any size, any type to your specifications. But the best part is we stock generators. No more long waiting and delays for your home unit. We proudly stock from 2,000 watts all the way to 26,000 watts gas and diesel generators. Automatic and manual transfer switches are also in stock. Visit JH Launchers Electrics today.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosley Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosley.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Real Issues powered by Blue Waters, where in our last Friday of the month of June for this program, because when Tuesday next week comes around, we will be in July territory. Yes, Monday will be the 30th and final day of the month of June. Now, it looks like there's some things being said about the upcoming visit, and I think that's going to be the weekend, basically, of the President of Nigeria. And it looks like the United Workers' Party has a few things to say about it, sounding notes of caution and, as usual, wanting to ask the government questions, always a little insinuation about whether there is anything hidden, any hidden agenda, and the relationship to upcoming elections and this and that. Why does the United Workers' Party have to try to make everything that the government does sound like and cast as something sinister that is happening? The visit of a foreign head. We go to other countries, and people who have gone have been surprised to tell me the kind of respect that St. Lucia delegations, especially when headed by our prime ministers, by our heads of government or governors general and so on. One person who went to Cuba at one time told me, they were surprised that after all the official interactions that they had, that Fidel Castro came to the airport to see Kenny Anthony off, and even after everybody had boarded the plane and the plane engines were on, ready to take off and so on, and Fidel Castro stood there, talking to Kenny Anthony for such a long time and that plane had to wait there, ain't nothing stand, and the plane is there, sweltering its engines and so on, while Fidel is having a conversation, with Kenny Anthony, and he said, boy, what is it, that they could be talking about? Another person who went to China told me, you would not believe how the Chinese, for our, official whatever entourage or motorcade and so on, how they stop the traffic for miles going. It's not a matter of traffic coming from the other side, can continue. They just stop the traffic just to let us through. And he said China is a vast place, and where we were, whatever city, whether it was, I can't remember if it was Beijing or Shanghai or whatever, and for miles and miles just to let us pass and so on unimpeded. They stopped the traffic, and you don't believe the Chinese people there would have been wondering what's all this about, especially if they knew what a tiny country it was. It was somebody who was working with the media, GIS or whatever that accompanied, and they said, man, the kind of respect those people show you and courtesy and so on, you wonder they will do whatever it takes to ensure that you don't get caught in any traffic jam. That is the kind of courtesy and hospitality, that they extend to visiting foreign delegations and their heads and so on that they did. And I'm thinking to myself, a president of Nigeria, the most populous nation in Africa. Yeah, Nigeria has the biggest population. The country is much bigger geographically than it, but it's the most populous country in Africa. It's probably one of the wealthiest, if there's anywhere wealthier than it. It's probably South Africa, maybe. Nigeria is wealthy. Never mind the history of instability and coups and all those sorts of things. Nigeria is playing a very vital and key role in the economy, not just of their country, but of Africa as a whole, and on the world stage and so on. They're regarded and they're recognized. They're not any kind of banana republic. Like I said, they have instabilities and things, but who doesn't? And for UWP to be making some kind of commotion about this like they do, and guess who's delivering the message for them? At least that is the one I heard reading the letter from the United Workers' Party on air, my friend Stephen Favrier, who, by the way, yesterday we spoke to each other for the first time since he has been back. For the first time since we've been back, we actually spoke on the phone. And we understand, and I think one of the last things we said to each other was we know where each other stand. I know where he's always stood, like I said, even as a very young man. I do respect him, I have regard. I was shown great kindness by his parents, and himself also, good times, argued like his politics from very young and so on. Like I told him, Stephen, you sound like just the person I know talking to you, but good luck to you. If you can continue being that person in a United Workers' Party led by Alan Chasney, you will have to tow along, you will have to play ball, and either it is just not something that you will be able to stomach, or you will have to transform into a different person than the one. Not exactly in those words, but, I basically told him, and, he said to me, yes, he knows where I stand and he still respects me, and he hopes that I will bring him on the real issues one day, and so I can have a word with him and so on. But this is a kind of thing making... Did we have Barbadians saying this kind of thing when the president of Ghana visited Barbados a few years ago? Is that the kind of thing that we heard? Didn't Barbados open up and welcome and they see the benefit and so on in it? Anyway, I think I have a short clip of is it Mia Motley? Jaquan, did you get that one? Let's try to see, do a recollection of what the president or the prime minister of Barbados, which is now a republic, had to say pertaining to the state visit of, I think, the president of Ghana. Anyway, let me see what I have there. Jaquan is trying to get it. Sorry, I thought he had it already. Meanwhile, Jaquan, you know what I'll do? I'll read the traffic advisory about temporary inconvenience due to official visit. The government of St. Lucia wishes to inform the public that owing to an official visit to St. Lucia by His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, from June 28th to July 4th, there will be temporary traffic disruptions and road closures along designated routes. There will also be a related disruption on Friday, June 27th along the general route during a rehearsal of concept drill by participating agencies. Motorists and commuters are kindly asked to note that from Saturday, June 28th to July 4th, 2025, there will be delays in the usual flow of traffic in the following areas: the Vieux-Fort to Castries Highway, Nelson Mandela Drive, the John Compton Highway, the Sir Julian R. Hunt Highway, Jeremy Street, Manuel Street, the Talk Road and Mon Road, and the Montfortune area, Vigi and the Vigi area, the Pigeon Island Causeway. Alternative routes: drivers are encouraged to use alternative routes and commute earlier to allow for extra travel time. Public transport adjustments: some public transport routes may be altered or delayed. Commuters are advised to plan ahead accordingly. Motorists and pedestrians are asked to give way to emergency and official vehicles upon hearing the sirens to allow for the safe passage of the convoy before resuming their journey. We humbly request your patience and cooperation as St. Lucia warmly welcomes our distinguished guest. These temporary measures are necessary to ensure the safety and success of the official visit. The Royal St. Lucia Police Force and the Ministry of External Affairs thank you for your understanding. For real-time updates and further details, follow official government social media channels and local news outlets. It isn't a whole island-wide lockdown and that everything everywhere is going to be closed. I hear people talking about the airports where they said at certain times the airports, I think on Saturday, whatever, are going to be closed and so on. Well, when I look at it, it's just for a couple of hours at a time. You're making it look like everything like St. Lucia is coming to a standstill and so on. Don't we have disruptions anytime dignitaries, whether it is the Pope, whether it is, Prince Harry, whoever it is that it causes disruptions, it always happens, not just in our country, but in others. We have to stop playing this kind of games as if, but anyway, some time ago there was an opening ceremony on Chaussee Road of the new building of the National Housing Corporation, the new headquarters for NHC. And on one occasion, for a couple of hours, there was a closure of a section of Chaussee Road, and the kind of comments, that it ignited that were being told. Do we have to play politics with every single thing? Everything? Anyway, Jaquan is still looking for that video. As soon as he gets it, we'll play it. But for the time being, Jaquan, let's open the phone lines, okay, if we can. The WhatsApp line that we can call is 758-487-9849. That's 758-487-9849. You can WhatsApp call us on this number. And you can also call us on the landline, which is 4533-911. That's 4533-911. While we're trying to get this video clip, we'll take our first call. Real Issues, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Shelton, good afternoon.
Hey, hi, how you doing?
Fine, thank you. Good afternoon, St. Lucia. Good afternoon, my people. Today, I would like to challenge my people that when the opportunity comes, that we all should go out and vote. Go out and vote and make your vote count. My people of this country, take this election very, very, very serious. The people who are placed into power to run our country, they could either push our country forward, build on the success that's already there, or bring our country down to its knees. I'm saying to us, my people, that we had a leader in the person of Alan Chasney. You saw the decisions that he made that affected our country. You saw the decisions that he'd made that bring our country back. The people trusted Philip J. Pierre with the country, and you could see the decisions, the policies that he had implemented to bring this country forward. I'm saying to us as a people that Philip J. Pierre, he is a good leader. He is one who has the interests of the country at heart. So we have to go out and ensure that in every district we vote the St. Lucia Labour Party. Don't take this election lightly, my people. Alan Chasney haven't got what it takes to bring us to continued success. When you look at the decisions to give away 1,000 acres of land at $1 an acre, do not take chances. Do not say you will give Marcella a chance or you will give Benson a chance. This country is not about giving people a chance. That's not no lucky dip. That's not no lottery. That's not no bingo ticket. Now is not the time to give people a chance. Now is the time to give workers, people who are working in the interest of our country, like Richard Frederick in Castries Central. From when I was a little boy, I never see no bus turn on Jamry Street. But right in front of my eyes, you could see free little bus shelters there. It could keep us for a while. So my people, go out and vote. Do not stay home on election day. Do not stay home on election day. Go out and vote. Parents, get your children involved in voting. Remind your children that is the Labour Party that had the youth economy. Parents, remind your children it is the Labour Party that starts the $500 to go to school. Parents, remind your children it's the Labour Party that give their children laptop to further their education. Let us take this election very serious. Let us vote for Labour. Let us ensure that Philip J. Pierre run this country again. Thank you very much, Shelton.
Asper,
my brother.
Before you go, there are two names that you mentioned there. Is it coincidence that you mentioned Alan Chasney and then you mentioned Richard Frederick? Because last night, did you watch Can I Help You?
Yeah, I took a piece of Can I Help You, but I kind of fell asleep.
Okay, all right. Okay.
I don't know which point you wanted to bring across.
Okay, all right, okay.
Yeah, because certain things were said.
All right,
certain things were said.
Okay, Gaspar.
Yeah, my boy.
All right, I didn't realize Richard Frederick. I mean, I know he's a nice guy. I know he's a very giving person. He's a very caring person. But last night he revealed a very caring side of his, That if you're one of those people, who when you're on a flight and, you're afraid of turbulence and you're afraid of being in the air and this kind of thing, one of the best things that can happen to you is to be seated next to Richard Frederick. He really is a guy who I think will give you a good pat on the back and, console you and calm you down and so on, because obviously that doesn't shake him up as it does so many other people, So, Honorable Richard Frederick, for whatever people you have helped, to be a little more sedate, to be a little more calm, when the turbulence is really freaking them out, Big up for you on that. Anyway, we have another call on the line. Hello.
Hey, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Yes, just a little suggestion. The United Workers' Party always keep putting pressure on us concerning transparency and accountability. But how about the money they've been getting, especially the parliamentary? Why are we not putting pressure on them for accountability? Because I heard, if I'm not clear, that your co-host said that Bradley has gotten 1.6
I'm
million.
not hearing you well, as if your voice rises and then it drops again. Can you start again, please?
All right. So I am saying the accountability of the money that the government has been giving them. Why are we not putting the pressure on United Workers' Party, letting them?
You're talking about the constituency development program.
Yes.
All right.
I think we're supposed to be putting the pressure on them concerning that, because they always want an accountability on our government. So then we now should put the pressure on them to show us what they have been doing with all that money.
All right.
They have been collected.
Okay.
I think we should really put that pressure on.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah. You're welcome.
All right. Okay, so let's say what Mayor Motley had to say, a few years ago, when Barbados invited the president of Ghana. What was her feeling about it? Go ahead.
Earlier this year, but during the course of this year, before the end of this fiscal year, the government of Barbados will open a small embassy in Accra as its first ever diplomatic resident embassy in the continent of Africa. And Mr. President, it is with this I say we are coming home, because we believe, as we have been told, that the majority of Barbadians are in fact descended from the people of Ghana. And I think you better than me can reinforce that comment. And with those words, therefore, I would like to invite you to speak to our guests and to the media. Thank you, sir.
Madam Prime Minister, thank you very much. And thank you especially for the invitation to come here and for the very warm welcome that we have received since we arrived this morning. The opportunity to come here to Barbados to redefine and cement the relations between our two countries, find a platform which would allow us to accentuate and develop those relations, and also to allow me the opportunity to bring to your attention what we're doing in Ghana about the year of return. We have taken a very firm decision that we're never going to permit ourselves to be in that situation again. And we think that you are joining us to commemorate this year of return in Ghana would be a very powerful statement that on both sides of the Atlantic, the people of African descent have made this commitment. And secondly, to use the platform as a means, a mechanism for solidifying the relations between us in the eastern part of the Atlantic and you on the western part of the Atlantic. We think it's very important, CARICOM, ECOWAS, CARICOM, the African Union, individual states, Ghana, Barbados, that we use this occasion to solidify the relations between us. And fortunately, the discussions that took place today have been very, very productive and very fruitful. We've found it possible that in education, in health, economic intercourse, cultural exchanges, and a broad range of activities involving the cooperation between your university and the universities in Ghana have given us many, many possible avenues of progress and development and joint development. It's very, very important that once the visit is over and we go back, the momentum that is meant to be created after this visit is maintained.
Folks, this is what Barbados thinks, to open an embassy in the Ghanaian capital, Accra, and to develop ties and so on. We have to let go of the internalized self-denigrating self-deprecating racism. That because it's somebody, a black African leader and so on, the state visits always cause some disruption in traffic and so on because there is heavy security attached to them. Always. If we bring Donald Trump or we manage to persuade Donald Trump to visit what he considers to be a shithole country of ours and he comes, St. Lucia going to be in total lockdown. The American Secret Service and the CIA and this and so on, they'll be swarming all over our place. And you know the way Americans are very pushy, they aren't going to leave any security. They want to have total control of everything. When they look and they say they want this road shut down completely 6 hours before the president and whatever before until his plane is in the air a certain distance and so on, and they want a lockdown of the entire airport perimeter and so on. When I tell you that, you can't, it's something that is going to, unless they reimburse us, it will cripple our economy even if it's just for one day. It's just for a few hours. I am sure that the visit of the Nigerian president is not nearly as oppressive as a visit from the US president or the British Prime Minister would be. We have a caller on the line. Good afternoon, Real Issues.
Good afternoon, Shelton.
How are you doing?
How are you doing, sir?
I'm okay.
Well, you know already, Shelton, I'm in the country where there is a bipolar country. Today it's hot, 98 degrees. Tomorrow it's 78 and it's cold like it's winter returning.
Okay.
Shelton, I listened to the gentleman yesterday, Spider, on a radio program. And just as you, I was a bit amazed by the kinds of things I heard Spider saying when it comes to a visiting president. I wonder if it was King Charles coming to St. Lucia, it would have been the same. If it would have been the same.
And I'm telling you, the lockdown and the security would have been so much more oppressive, so much more completely overwhelming for us if that had happened. Go ahead.
You know, I listen to Spider and I'm saying to myself, Flabo is everything that is dark against a black man. Children, everything the filers find fault with that has to do with the prime minister or somebody black. And to hear Spider condemn when Jimmy Haynes called and Jimmy Haynes spoke about, his friend got hold up in England. So what happened? Your friend can't rebook his flight. What happened? Your friend can't delay his flight. You know, a head of state is visiting your country. Don't you think you should give him the utmost security? Or what are we going to get from it? What are we? The royal family has visited St. Lucia. What have we got from them?
Exactly. Tell me.
What have we got from them? They have visited us on many occasions. Harry came. Diana came, Margaret came. What did we get from them? We got nothing from them. And to hear the guys yesterday, oh my goodness, this gets me so sick, Shelton, with these fellas. You know, and you have a Diplo come in and talk even more crap. Shelton, when you first introduced this guy as your friend, I said to myself, okay, we might have something clean in the politics. But Shelton, I said, you misjudged the gentleman. Or the man is just making you feel shame. Because when you hear a man like this guy, the guy just has his leader, speak words, eloquent, but nonsense alone coming from the guy's mouth. You know, lying just like his prime minister. Tell them, I don't know, but I know we have an opposition, and I am wishing that one day we would have a constructive, well-ordered opposition. But for the time being, I don't think St. Lucia should have an opposition because these guys are giving nothing to the electorate to work with. Nothing whatsoever. They don't have nothing. By the way, Shelton, let me just say a happy birthday to my daughter. You know, today she's turning an adult or adolescent. You know, so I just want to wish her all the best. All the best to Candy.
All right.
Thank you, Shelton.
And from me as well, best wishes to her. Thank you so very much for calling. I think it's a while I haven't heard from you. So,
yeah, I'm there putting up some styles there for my sister. I want to give her the best of the best, you know. So when she put it out that the world can see, the work of Mr. Haynes, you know.
All right then. So long, my friend.
Let me also quickly. I want to thank although he's dead, but I heard you said something earlier on. Dunstan DeMille, you know.
Dunstan who?
Oh,
Dunstan DeMille. Okay.
Yes, when Jalousie was there, this guy taught me as a steward, Shelton, cleaning the hotel, cleaning, washing dishes. And today, I could tell you, thank him, because Shelton, I learned how to clean a place, how to use a mop. I didn't even know a mop had a technique in using it. I went on to be the best steward you could find. I went on to become the best wine waiter after a while, Shelton, because this guy taught me. And this guy tell me, as you go along, Bernard, learn these things because you never know where you're going to fall in life. He's dead, but I want to say thank you to him. And then turn happy the mill.
Okay. Thank you so very much. Just the point I was making a while ago. That you take pride in what you do, you apply yourself to it, and there is distinction even in what we consider to be lowly and menial, etc., etc. Thanks a lot. All right, we continue taking your calls, and we have someone else on the line already. You're on the air. Real Issues.
Good afternoon, Shelton. Good afternoon to your guests.
Hey, hi.
Well,
how are you doing?
Guests. You don't have guests today.
No, I don't.
I listened to Terry on another show this morning.
Yes.
Yes, but Shelton, I cannot believe that there is debate on the official visit of the president of Nigeria. Shelton, ever since we were at school, one of the things we were taught was globalization and the importance of globalization and the opportunities that globalization would have lent to countries like ours in the Caribbean. We have traditionally traded with the United States, with the UK, and to a small extent, Canada and the region. But we're seeing opportunities opening through the African connection. And Shelton, to me, there's a bit of hypocrisy. Because on the one hand, we are, celebrating that we are descendants of Africa and so on. We talk about emancipation. These days we have greater awareness of emancipation and all of that. And yet still, a president of an African state is visiting, and we have problems with the inconvenience that we're going to face and what opportunities are there for us. I could not believe I saw a post from a business person talking about what opportunities are there and all of that. And I wonder whether we are so locked in traditionalism that we forget that we're obscured by opportunities that can be opened up for us to trade and other things. Now, the other thing the problem I have too is that as if everything Mia Motley says becomes gospel, becomes, this big revelation. And most times our Prime Minister says the same thing even before her or does things before her, and we say nothing about it. What's it about us? Why are we, bringing down ourselves like that? Shelton, in the United States, Trump is the president.
Are you there?
You know, when he is visiting a state, they lock down streets and lock down airports and lock down several parts of the country.
Yeah.
Even though he is their president. So what's this about an airport being closed for two hours?
2 hours,
And
2
what's
hours
this about
only.
both of our airports because he has to commute, his security detail has to commute and so on. What is this? I saw a journalist asking that, and I wondered whether that particular journalist forgot what she was handed down by Alan Chasney and Guy Joseph that is called. So why are we partisan over an official visit, an official state visit of a president of another country? I mean, we have to get past that, Shelton. It's not because I support a party that everything the party does is right. But at the same time, if it is done by another party, it ought not to be wrong. We have to look at things with a more open mind, Shelton. It's time we get past this. The opposition has shown that it has not been able to bring us anything of substance. Nothing yet. I'm still waiting. In today's age, I have to now explain to my children what Bolom is because they don't know about that. For so long, we're not talking about that. And that comes back in our St. Lucian politics today. And then people want to now come and question about state business and what it bring in. And I see somebody talking about Nigerians corrupt and what is this?
Yeah. Another thing I see posted is about a supposed genocide against Christians that's taking place in Nigeria. There's a Christian genocide taking place, but it's only now that's being highlighted and so on.
But they don't realize the genocide taking place in the United States of America, where we all want to run to. We all want to go there. We all want the American visa. When the Americans say that we're on a list, everybody up in arms, we're on a list, we're on a list. The American, Shelton, I don't want to take on too much of your time, but I am just seeing on the news that the Supreme Court has just ruled on birthright citizenship in the United States. So it means that all of the St. Lucians who went up to the United States to meet their children, they're not sure of the citizenship of their children. So if Africa is opening its doors to us and we are opening ours to theirs, why can't we do it? Because we have to look for opportunities in the other parts of the world.
Yes.
So, Shelton, I just wish the government success. I am happy that the president of Nigeria is not only coming here for a state visit, but he is going to come and enjoy our beautiful island.
Yes.
He's going to have vacation in St. Lucia. We have to put that on the map and look forward to other leaders coming and spend that kind of time here in St. Lucia. Thanks for choosing St. Lucia. Have a good afternoon.
All right, thank you very much. And we're overdue now for a commercial break, I think. But we have a call on the line, so let's take that one and then we'll go for the break. Real Issues, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hello, good afternoon, son. How do you do?
I am doing okay, and you?
Not bad. Stop it. You all are in no position to tell government how to run government. Have a good weekend.
That's short. I don't know if it's sweet, but the short for sure. Anyway, Real Issues powered by Blue Waters. Let's take our final commercial break and we'll return to take more of your calls and hopefully to read some of your messages as well.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Another hurricane season is upon us. Make this year different. Equip yourself with a backup power generator from JH Launchers Electric. We can source and supply any size, any type to your specifications. But the best part is we stock generators. No more long waiting and delays for your home unit. We proudly stock from 2,000 watts all the way to 26,000 watts gas and diesel generators. Automatic and manual transfer switches are also in stock. Visit JH Launchers Electrics today.
What is the vision for the Vendors Arcade? To provide a world-class shopping environment where local goods and services can be provided and experienced by locals and visitors. Why is this redevelopment necessary? The renovations and expansions will revitalize the infrastructure and enhance the shopping experience for vendors, locals, and visitors. Who will be responsible for the vendors arcade? The arcade will continue to be operated and managed by the Castries Constituency Council, who will have full responsibility for the rental and maintenance of the space. How will construction of the vendors arcade be managed? A phased approach will be employed to minimize disruption to daily operations. After the completion of each phase, vendors will be relocated from the former arcade, and this will continue until completion of the new facility. St. Lucia Cruise Port, investing in people.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosley Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosley.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. The man.
Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with The Real Issues, powered by Blue Waters on this Friday, the 27th of June, 2025. Our final program for the week, of course, will next be together from Monday. That will be the 30th and final day of the month, as usual, from 12:30 to 2 on Real FM Radio, NBC Television, Facebook, and YouTube live streaming. For the time being, we are taking your calls. The numbers you can reach us on, you can WhatsApp call us on 487-9849. That's 758-487-9849. You can also call us on 4533911, or you can send WhatsApp messages live by going to realfmofficial.com, and you can click on the WhatsApp messaging link. You will also find that at mbcslu.com, and on both of the websites, you will have buttons where you can listen to the radio online, or you can watch the television NBC live online as well. Temporary airport closures on June 28, 2025 due to a presidential state visit. That's only for tomorrow, and it's 2 hours in each instance for the George F.L. Charles Airport in Castries and also the Iwanora International Airport down in Vieux-Fort. The St. Lucia Air and Seaports Authority, SLASPA, wishes to inform the public that due to a scheduled presidential state visit, there will be temporary closures at both Iwanora International Airport and George F.L. Charles Airport on Saturday, June 28, 2025. George F.L. Charles Airport closed from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Iwanora International Airport closed from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Travelers are advised to contact their respective airlines directly to confirm any adjustments to the scheduled timelines for their flights. LASPA apologizes for any inconvenience caused. We appreciate your patience and understanding as we strive to ensure a safe and seamless travel experience. Thank you for your cooperation. All right, folks. So, like I said, I'm sure nobody likes, disruptions and delays and that kind of thing. But we have it all the time. We have it for jazz. We have it for carnival. I mean, look at the kind of traffic gridlock that we have when we have jazz. Just that. understand? The weight of traffic and people moving up on the roads to support it and so on. We have that all the time. We have it on roads that are not finishing at all, that you hear me referring to them as the forever roads, you know. Every time when you believe they're nearing completion is another big backup of traffic and roadblock because it's not. We have this kind of things. We put up with it. What we gonna do? Rebel, cause a revolution every time? This thing didn't used to happen when the other party was in office. You understand? Look at what has been done to the road going up north. Because people want to show how they're intelligent more than everybody else and they can interfere in things that are done. All right, our lines are open, like I said, for your calls. 487-9849 and 4533911. Let me express my wishes for the safe return of those fishermen of ours who are adrift somewhere in the southern Caribbean. It looks like they have drifted from the Venezuelan coast to the Dutch Antilles Islands I think one of them said they were moving towards Bonaire or Aruba and so on, and like they were just not in control of their steering, so they could see land but they couldn't send themselves towards it. They're going on the sail power rigged improvised sails with clothing and so on. And what else did we get? That they seem to be in good health and in good spirits thus far. They're seeing other vessels, marine vessels, but they're not noticing them to come and maybe inquire. He said they've fired flares and done all that sort of thing. And they don't seem to be attracting attention, so they're really at the mercy of the currents that have been pulling them in. Sometimes when they're close to land, the current is pulling them away. But it looks like they have not given in to any despair, so let's hope that some kind of cooperation and can be mounted between their home country, St. Lucia, and Venezuela, Guyana, etc. And so that some kind of attempt to rescue and recover them can be mounted. I got a message there which is saying, Shelton, I just want to share my sentiments on that thing with Senator Jawahi and Honorable Joachim Henry. This is pure posture for the SLP and the people of Castries Southeast. Senator, please stop that, my dear friend. You are doing a very nice job with the party. Just continue to serve the party and allow our Honorable Joachim to continue working for the people and to defeat Guy Joseph consecutively to end Guy's political career. Senator, you will be a sitting rep one day, but this time around it's not your turn. Just be patient. You will be a sitting MP pretty soon, 17 North en Rouge. And there's another message which says, point taken, my brother. I'm not sure with reference to what. In terms of Senator Jawahi, she has been on this program to explain that she has the desire to become the next candidate and MP for Castries Southeast with the St. Lucia Labour Party, or acting on behalf of the St. Lucia Labour Party. And it is her right. It's a democratic right. The St. Lucia Labour Party makes provisions for hopefuls, for people who want to contend to become or to replace the candidate who's there. And I'm not aware that she has done anything wrong in this regard. If there was, she would have probably been pulled back and spoken to. I don't really know what's going on, but she has explained her bit about it, and no one can deny her the democratic and constitutional right as far as the SLP's constitution goes, and I'm to do this. So I don't agree with you that she is duty bound or obligated to step back and to say, okay, I'm not going to. Honorable Joachim Henry himself, I'm sure, understands that he does not have a lifetime lane or monopoly on the seat and the right to represent the SLP. And if it is felt that Senator Jawahi, for various instruments or mechanisms of testing, demonstrates that she has a greater viability, a greater possibility or probability of bringing the seat home, then a decision can be made by, I think, the buck stops with the political leader to decide that she is the one to be chosen. What I have said on this program, not specific to Senator Jawahi or anybody else, because I've been getting that people should not go about doing things in a manner that can sow division and that can later come back to bite them if they end up being the endorsed candidate. So you go ahead, you do your campaign, but if it is one where you are bad-mouthing a competitor, a rival, or an incumbent, you may end up getting the nod, but how are you going to navigate the choppy waters of healing, of closing ranks and so on? Might there be something that might be difficult, even impossible to overcome. And as I've said, I understand there are some of the hopefuls, I won't say who are going around saying that they've already gotten the nod, they've already been endorsed. And as far as everybody who is in the know has heard, that this isn't the case. That nod and that indication would come from the political leader, and that people who know tell me he has given no such indication, and he's not one who will go and say to somebody, okay, I choose you, and do it behind the back of the other so they don't know anything, like he's engaged in some kind of behind the scenes complot with anybody. Those who know him would swear that he does not operate that way. So I would say people, maybe it's psychological warfare that you want to go on to say that you will be the next candidate. That's for sure. I've been given the assurance by and sometimes that's not true. Not until go so don't go doing that kind of thing. That's all basically I've said. But I don't agree with you that Senator Jawai or anybody else who's interested in becoming the SLP's next election candidate, like Mr. Gregory Saintange down in Mico South. I've heard of other names, but nothing that has come out officially. Or the four who are known in Vieux-Fort, Mr. Augustus Cadet, Ms. Tresha Lionel, Mr. Danny Butcher, and the other one, an ex-police, his name kind of slips me right now. This would be my advice to them. Do your thing, go canvass, lobby people and so on to give you their support or to put their weight behind you, whatever, to impress the party top brass, but don't go chopping up each other, mauvais langue and this kind of thing. And then later on you find that the bitterness that it has caused, that it works against you, because there are some people who will not put their support because they're upset with you for the way you conducted yourself and conducted your quote-unquote campaign. And don't go around telling people that, you've already gotten the nod and you've gotten assurance from whoever it is, least of all the political leader, to say that he's given you the assurance that you will be the one who will be chosen because you want to use that as a kind of a psychological blow away for the others and so on. This would be, all that I would say. But everyone who has expressed an interest and their interest has been acknowledged, they have a right to make that pitch, to become the candidate. All right, let's see what are the messages that we have there. Okay. Do we have any of the videos that I sent you, Jaquan? I'm not exactly sure if I may have sent video clips. All right, let's. John Emmanuel, the communications officer of the Ministry of Equity, Social Justice and Empowerment, sent me a short video. He is usually self-explanatory, even when he's not the one narrating it. I'm sure he gives it the looking over. So let's hear this clip from John Emmanuel of the Ministry of Equity.
The government of St. Lucia wishes to inform the public that owing to an official visit to St. Lucia by His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria from June 28th to July 4th, 2025, there will be temporary traffic disruptions and road closures along designated routes. There will also be a related disruption on Friday, June 27th, along the general route during a rehearsal of concept drill by participating agencies. Motorists and commuters are kindly asked to note that from Saturday, June 28th to July 4th, 2025, there will be delays in the usual flow of traffic in the following areas: the Vieux-Fort to Castries Highway, Nelson Mandela Drive, the John Compton Highway, the Sir Julian R. Hunt Highway, Jeremy Street, Manuel Street, Lattock Road, Mon Road, and the Mon Fortune area, VG and the VG area, and the Pigeon Island Causeway. Drivers are encouraged to use alternate routes and commute earlier to allow for extra travel time. Some public transport routes may be altered or delayed. Commuters are advised to plan ahead accordingly. Motorists and pedestrians are asked to give way to emergency and official vehicles upon hearing the sirens to allow for the safe passage of the convoy before resuming their journey. We humbly request your patience and cooperation as St. Lucia warmly welcomes our distinguished guest. These temporary measures are necessary to ensure the safety and success of the official visit. The Royal St. Lucia Police Force and the Ministry of External Affairs thank you for your understanding. For real-time updates and further details, follow official government social media channels and local news outlets.
I'm sorry, folks, but it's a little slip and mishap that is welcome just the same. This is actually the voice of Rihani Isidore narrating what I would have read as a press release about, the traffic disruptions that are expected to accompany the state visit of the president of Nigeria. What I really wanted to was a clip from the Ministry of Equity, Social Justice and Empowerment. So we'll play this one as was intended right now.
Operating under the Ministry of Equity, Social Justice and Empowerment, the James Belgrave Microenterprise Development Fund, Inc., BELFund, is joining the celebration to mark Public Service Week with a focus on supporting micro and small business owners across the island. As part of the week's activities, BELFund will be participating in the Public Service Fair on Friday, June 27th at the Derek Walcott Square. The fair is one of the signature events of the Public Service Week calendar, bringing together various departments and agencies to showcase the work they do for the people of St. Lucia. General Manager of BELFund, Amanda DeLima, says the organization continues to serve as a key driver of economic inclusion by providing access to credit, technical support, and training for the unemployed, self-employed, and underemployed.
It is a form of public service that we're doing where we assist people with their micro business enterprises. And as a result, Public Service Week is of importance to us as well, whereby we showcase what we will do for customers and what we continue to do for them. And mainly loans for micro businesses and training that comes with it. As long as the loan is approved, you get training and continuous business development assistance.
At the BELFund booth, first-time business owners and micro-enterprise enthusiasts will be given a special chance to take part in the very first interview. DeLima says this initiative aims to build confidence, provide visibility, and give budding entrepreneurs a platform to speak about their ventures.
You don't have to have a business plan to come to us to tell us what type of business you want to set up so that we can assess its feasibility and so that we can begin the application process with you. So the on-the-spot interview can help you to start up. We will tell you what you'll need right there, and then you can continue the application process with us.
Minister of Equity, Social Justice and Empowerment, Honorable Joachim Henry, who has oversight of the BELFund, says the overarching goal is to ensure that all individuals maintain the dignity and financial independence needed to support their households. Members of the public are encouraged to visit the BELFund booth to engage with staff and learn about the support available for micro and small enterprise development. From the Ministry of Equity, Social Justice and Empowerment, Anicia Antoine.
All right, thanks to Anicia Antoine of the Ministry of Equity, Social Justice and Empowerment for that report, and to John Emmanuel for making it available to us. A comment in the Real Issues WhatsApp chat group says the number of times when he was Prime Minister, Chasney's blaring siren and the excessive speed of his vehicle almost caused other motorists to run off the road just for him to commute to and from his office. The Flabo failures should keep shut. There was an occasion when he had a police officer to stop the northbound traffic at the Gable Roads roundabout to allow him to travel south as he left his father's property, causing a backup of traffic instead of driving up to Shock like every other motorist. That's the kind of power trip Chasney was on when he was in control of our resources. Chasney, you're not coming back. And I have to say so. You get the feeling that Alan Chasney reveled in and relished being Prime Minister because of the opportunity for all this grandstanding and showboating and the feeling of making him feel important and to flex that he he had power and so on. You know, this thing about every time Shastney left the compound of the government buildings at Conway to drive out at the end of the day, he had to drive with police escort and sirens blaring. And I'm saying, if it's security you're concerned about, my goodness, why do you have to announce like that so far in advance? But, you know, I don't know. It's just a game of a guy who just likes to be on a pedestal of flaunting himself. Hey, I'm Prime Minister, you know, and there was no depth, nothing to it. Anyway, as we go, let me just say that the whole matter of this Nigeria thing, it's interesting that St. Kitts and Nevis will be hosting a major, and I'm trying to say, sometimes when I have those things saved and I'm just looking for them at the very time I can't seem to get them, that St. Kitts and Nevis is going to be engaging in a big way with Nigeria next year, 2026. But I wanted to read it directly from where it was, but at the time it just seems to escape me. However, we've come to the end of today and this week's program. Thank you so very much for being a part of it, for your participation. Until Monday, all things equal, God willing, from 12:30 until 2 p.m. for another run, the start of another week of The Real Issues. For Jaquan and all of us here at MBC, Shelton Daniel signing out.
The man.
Brand 5678. Big 4 1500. The Big 4 Multi-X ball drawn is 2X. Pick 2 65. The Pick 2 Multi-X ball drawn is FB. 1 off 034. Lucky 3 344. The Lucky 3 Multi-X ball drawn is 5X.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Another hurricane season is upon us. Make this year different. Equip yourself with a backup power generator from JH Launchers Electric. We can source and supply any size, any type to your specifications. But the best part is we stock generators. No more long waiting and delays for your home unit. We proudly stock from 2,000 watts all the way to 26,000 watts gas and diesel generators. Automatic and manual transfer switches are also in stock. Visit JH Launchers Electrics today.
What is the vision for the Vendors Arcade? To provide a world-class shopping environment where local goods and services can be provided and experienced by locals and visitors. Why is this redevelopment necessary? The renovations and expansions will revitalize the infrastructure and enhance the shopping experience for vendors, locals, and visitors. Who will be responsible for the Vendors Arcade? The arcade will continue to be operated and managed by the Castries Constituency Council, who will have full responsibility for the rental and maintenance of the space. How will construction of the Vendors Arcade be managed? A phased approach will be employed to minimize disruption to daily operations. After the completion of each phase, vendors will be relocated from the former arcade, and this will continue until completion of the new facility. St. Lucia Cruise Port, investing in people.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knightsmed Miku, Lay-by Bar, The Morn, Dexter's Place, Jeremy Street, Castries, Citygate Bar, The City opposite the market, Plants Place, Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket, Soufre, The Release Stress Bar, Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar, Victoria Schwazel, Prio's Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop, opposite the Grosley Bus Stop, Prio's Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosley.
Yes, the best a man can get.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Another hurricane season is upon us. Make this year different. Equip yourself with a backup power generator from KH Launchers Electric. We can source and supply any size, any type to your specifications. But the best part is we stock generators. No more long waiting and delays for your home unit. We proudly stock from 2,000 watts all the way to 26,000 watts gas and diesel generators. Automatic and manual transfer switches are also in stock. Visit JH Launchers Electrics today.
What is the vision for the Vendors Arcade? To provide a world-class shopping environment where local goods and services can be provided and experienced by locals and visitors. Why is this redevelopment necessary? The renovations and expansions will revitalize the infrastructure and enhance the shopping experience for vendors, locals, and visitors. Who will be responsible for the Vendors Arcade? The arcade will continue to be operated and managed by the Castries Constituency Council, who will have full responsibility for the rental and maintenance of the space. How will construction of the vendors' arcade be managed? A phased approach will be employed to minimize disruption to daily operations. After the completion of each phase, vendors will be relocated from the former arcade, and this will continue until completion of the new facility. St. Lucia Cruise Port, investing in people.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosile Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosile.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Big issues, 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Big issues, 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Another hurricane season is upon us. Make this year different. Equip yourself with a backup power generator from JH Launchers Electric. We can source and supply any size, any type to your specifications. But the best part is we stock generators. No more long waiting and delays for your home unit. We proudly stock from 2,000 watts all the way to 26,000 watts gas and diesel generators. Automatic and manual transfer switches are also in stock. Visit JH Launchers Electrics today.
What is the vision for the Vendors Arcade? To provide a world-class shopping environment where local goods and services can be provided and experienced by locals and visitors. Why is this redevelopment necessary? The renovations and expansions will revitalize the infrastructure and enhance the shopping experience for vendors, locals, and visitors. Who will be responsible for the Vendors Arcade? The arcade will continue to be operated and managed by the Castries Constituency Council, who will have full responsibility for the rental and maintenance of the space. How will construction of the Vendors Arcade be managed? A phased approach will be employed to minimize disruption to daily operations. After the completion of each phase, vendors will be relocated from the former arcade, and this will continue until completion of the new facility. St. Lucia Cruise Port, investing in people.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosile Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosile.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with big issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Another hurricane season is upon us. Make this year different. Equip yourself with a backup power generator from KH Launchers Electric. We can source and supply any size, anytime to your specifications. But the best part is we stock generators. No more long waiting and delays for your home unit. We proudly stock from 2,000 watts all the way to 26,000 watts gas and diesel generators. Automatic and manual transfer switches are also in stock. Visit JH Launchers Electrics today.
What is the vision for the Vendors Arcade? To provide a world-class shopping environment where local goods and services can be provided and experienced by locals and visitors. Why is this redevelopment necessary? The renovations and expansions will revitalize the infrastructure and enhance the shopping experience for vendors, locals, and visitors. Who will be responsible for the Vendors Arcade? The arcade will continue to be operated and managed by the Castries Constituency Council, who will have full responsibility for the rental and maintenance of the space. How will construction of the Vendors Arcade be managed? A phased approach will be employed to minimize disruption to daily operations. After the completion of each phase, vendors will be relocated from the former arcade, and this will continue until completion of the new facility.
St. Lucia Cruise Port, investing in people.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell V4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosley Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosley.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Another hurricane season is upon us. Make this year different. Equip yourself with a backup power generator from KH Launchers Electric. We can source and supply any size, any type to your specifications. But the best part is we stock generators. No more long waiting and delays for your home unit. We proudly stock from 2,000 watts all the way to 26,000 watts gas and diesel generators. Automatic and manual transfer switches are also in stock. Visit JH Launchers Electrics today.
What is the vision for the Vendors Arcade? To provide a world-class shopping environment where local goods and services can be provided and experienced by locals and visitors. Why is this redevelopment necessary? The renovations and expansions will revitalize the infrastructure and enhance the shopping experience for vendors, locals, and visitors. Who will be responsible for the Vendors Arcade? The arcade will continue to be operated and managed by the Castries Constituency Council, who will have full responsibility for the rental and maintenance of the space. How will construction of the Vendors Arcade be managed? A phased approach will be employed to minimize disruption to daily operations. After the completion of each phase, vendors will be relocated from the former arcade, and this will continue until completion of the new facility.
St. Lucia Cruise Port, investing in people.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the grocery